Winter's Curse, Borrowed Time, RP, Track is always one that you look out
Tracks,
for
especially in Shikuchi.
against
Sakuchi
Shukuchi.
track
Yeah,
combo, like, or anti-combo there is huge.
I mean stun wise, there's not many. There
Chaos
really
Bolt?
aren't many. There's like Rolling Boulder, Chaos Bolt.
So I think the alts are
Yeah.
going to play huge into that, right? Because the
Yeah.
RP, the
I mean,
Winter's Curse.
Yeah, if you can get like RP Static Storm or Static Storm Winter's Curse or like one of those three, I think you're sorted.
one also has to point out the fact that in terms of the hero models, the Radiant side has Earth Spirit, which is pretty solid. Like, not amazing, not terrible, but like solid. But they have Weaver, which is one of the worst, and it's only being compensated by the fact that they're going to probably get Shikuchi on it.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Yeah, but then Dire has Necro Wyvern,
Necro,
right? They're not the best.
yeah, it's the
yeah.
other side of this too, right? They both ended up with the rotten side, but it's the two heroes that carry these abilities into the game that you want, right?
Oh, he takes Shukuchi over
Ooh.
Arctic.
So he's saying to the Disruptor, fine, you have Arctic Burn on the Disruptor.
Now this
That's
is
fine.
awesome because if he does pass it, then Necro is actually a real hero, but he doesn't.
I don't think you can
I
afford
think
to.
Blob just has to pick a stun or so, like Spirit Siphon's
Yeah,
pretty solid as well.
Just something, right? Just something to try to offset how awful Necro is as it feels
Just
to play.
don't be a core right now. Maybe be a core later on in the draft, but try and set yourself up to be support or something now.
Yeah, Omni Knight's a fine model, right? So Omni Knight and Chaos Knights can be the other two cores along with the Death
So
Powers.
I'm like fingers crossed hoping for this because I had it in my game. I literally played before we got started this morning and it was amazing and we lost, but it was still amazing. Geminate attack with the Empower on the Chaos Knight. It would just be so much fun.
That's nice.
That would just
I
be
also
so
like
much
it.
fun.
I mean,
So
other
here's the
things
ultis all being picked, right? Winter's Curse, RP, Track. Yeah.
There's your big ultis coming out though. Like they had to start securing some of those big team fight pieces.
For sure.
The Track is also a safety for the Shikuchi on their side. And he's going for Aphotic Shield, which is a counter to the Track. And Heavenly Grace gets picked up. So, I mean, very solid.
The counter is because of the strong dispel there, correct?
Yes. So it forced them to, by picking up the Aphotic Shield.
Oh, they also get the other counter as well, the Swarm, if I remember. The Shard also is a...
Reveals Invis.
Yes,
so
super nice.
that is two big pickups.
Chaos Strike was taken here because it's really strong with Empower.
Curse of
like
Avernus.
CK wants Curse of Avernus with Phantasm, right? But I guess you don't want to give Curse to the Disruptor, so you're picking that first. Like you probably, in a vacuum, you would rather pick Phantasm there, but you are picking Curse for yourself, yes, but also block Disruptor from getting it.
Alright, so what do we see coming out in the Death Prof here? The spell that you can cast while Shikuchi's going on.
The ult, of course. The ult.
I think Earth Spirit might go for some Earth Spirit spells later on, possibly.
Rolling Boulder right away.
So what does he go? Roll plus Pulse? Like Death Pulse with Heartstopper is always so good.
Yeah, Death
Shockwave.
Purification could be really strong as well. Roll in.
Oh wow, just gonna double pick his own spells.
Alright, I'm excited. Does anyone know whether he actually is an Earth Spirit player in terms of like how many people can do this stuff?
It's not guaranteed he'll be the one playing it, but yeah,
True.
I think we'll be seeing a lot of swaps happening here on both sides. We have a lot of skilled players. I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware, but the Radiant side has 2 of the top 10 ability draft players based on mean points.
Yep.
Piggy is number 10 in Europe, and I can't say his name, but the guy, the Magnus, is number 4 in Europe.
There's the Geminate and Power. He gets it. And he doesn't have to pick Phantasm now because everyone on Radiant has picked ulti, so he can just hold out.
Yep. God. I hope this goes off. It was unbelievable.
And if you look a bit further down, you'll notice that Radiant actually has 3 in the top 25 in Europe, compared to only Tauntaun, who's number 8.
Oh, Invis RP.
Ginseng, 29.
The problem with that is they have so much of the anti-invis stuff because of the Sakuchi pickup, right? So it feels really bad picking that, but I get where it's coming from. If you can get that off, it's going to feel really good.
So
they've got 2 really good saving supports. Like Reaper Scythe on Rob often feels nice, but when you're into Purification, Aphotic Shield, Cold Embrace, there's great ways to like turn it around, save your teammates.
I'm really surprised Janada hasn't been taken. It's some someone. Why did the Earth Spirit not take? Okay, here we go.
There we go. So finally,
this is nice. It provides bonus damage, and that's really nice with the Chaos Strike.
I find Janada's like a noob bait pick unless you have like Tidebringer or like a combo with it, or you're
kind of feels like a trap, right?
Yeah, I think it quite often is a trap. Like it looks tempting, but it's not that good. But here it'll work out decently with Chaos Strike.
I think it's absolutely overdrafted, but this is the kind of time I'm surprised to see it. Like we're in the 4th round of picks, and it hasn't been taken. Especially on supports. It provides you extra harass on a ranged hero, and it also lets you steal gold from the carry that you're harassing. It can be frustrating.
Usually if you're a support, you have 2 other spells that you want to level more. Like you have a nuke and a stun or something. So that's why Janada is like, I find very often useless on a support. And
yeah, it just feels
requires
in this
a
odd
combo
place
on a core
right now in terms of like it's a bait to pick it early, and to pick it even late, then you don't want to really prioritize it.
Like if you're doing the meme, bounty hunter ags shit, if you're a bounty hunter model with with the talents and stuff, then fine, pick Janada, first, second pick, whatever. But
yeah.
I am very excited. I mean, so there will be some swaps happening here, and I'm interested to see. It seems like Blop will be playing the Chaos Knights, and then Faustus will be playing the Omni Knights, and Lensk will be playing the Necrophos. That's the swap that I can see.
Pretty sure on the other side, the Weaver and the Abandon are the only ones that are switching it up there. The other guys are going to play out their heroes.
Yeah, I have a lot of fear about this this Disruptor and Earth Spirit just taking over the game and running over no jungle early on.
Uh-oh. What's going on here?
Looks like it's paused.
Oh, is it paused? Is that what they've done? It's like... Why am I stopped at 5 seconds here? What is going on?
I can hear the unpause happening now. 3 ding dong ding. There we go.
For those that don't know, you can enter a console command in lobbies to pause ability draft stuff.
Milk.
I'm not going to tell you how.
Milk.
But you can do it.
I don't know. I kind of feel like no jungle has to play close to perfectly to make their draft work. Like Winter's Curses have to be like sublime this game to be able to control these guys. Or they've got to, like baiting an Earth Spirit to go a little bit too deep because he's going to be very aggressive. He's got Heartstopper, Roll, Death Pulse, Magnetize. He wants to play aggressively. I think Disruptor, same kind of story. You don't have farm acceleration spells. You have killing and team fighting spells.
This is stuff I love about Dota. I don't think there's a hoodwink in this game, right?
A hoodwink?
Yeah, because loaded in, it was showing hoodwink. And I was like,
oh, was it?
There's no hoodwink in this game.
What? It's like loaded. It's loaded the one from last game. I'm super confused.
God, I love Dota. Beta game.
Let's all give a shout out to Jeff, our boy Jeff Hill.
Hey, hell yeah. Brave soul.
As well as our ability draft Janitor.
Here.
I saw a Janitor made a comment on the Reddit thread the other day.
What's the percentage of the... he's fine. That's a really good question. What percentage of the time do people actually end up with a build that's stronger or more synergistic than a normal Dota hero versus just a pile of 4 random spells? Because Ben, this is a conversation we had like a month and a half, 2 months ago, right? Where I feel like overall it's lower than 50%. But then we have that conversation about like, Mars in a normal AP game doesn't want to go Aghanim Scepter, doesn't play around Bulwark, whereas in an AD game you do, because it's a stronger spell on its own rather than part of a hero who plays a certain archetype. Like in AP, you have Mars who wants to, buy Blink Initiate. He doesn't want to play around Bulwark, whereas if you put Bulwark on another hero, you kind of play around that because it is such a strong spell.
I think in high-level games, it's like 60%, but like per player. But I think that like almost every team, when you see these high-level games, has one person, normally in the position 5, who is like the block picker. He sits in the middle. He's normally one of the
dump stat.
Yeah, they'll just take everything to block the enemy. And if you were to say, let's say 3 heroes on a side, which are all better than a base hero, I would say that's about 60%, 55% or something like that.
But it's also natural.
Isn't that like the true definition of the sacrificial 5 support?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
Yeah.
I've seen games where they have not leveled 2 of their abilities because they are straight up deny picks and taken stats and gone around and just warded and being the true sacrificial support.
But it's like also the big point is that, you know, heroes are designed, right? Heroes are designed to have synergy within themselves. Whereas you are, you know, if you're making a new hero in an AD draft, you're battling 15 years of game design. As Lenska has to pop stick, he's fine, he's got Fairy Fire. But, you know, you're trying to battle 15 years of game design to try and create synergy between you on your own hero and between your team. Whereas the game has already been designed to have synergy inherently.
Mm-hmm.
And anti-synergy as well in the mix of all of that.
I think most of the time that the situation that RGB is describing is that the 2 supports will each take like 1 useless spell, but sometimes you do have a game where they'll take 1 useless spell and a useless ulti, and that's kind of common. But I mean, there is a page actually for those interested on the WinRun site. If you look at abilities by hero, you can see the average spell win rates for the spells that the hero has, and you can see it combined with the body itself. So that's why you get, for example, Earth Spirit has, you know, a reasonable body, but average spell win rate is really, really low, actually. So it's always interesting to see when someone is able to use that to their advantage. Same with Tinker. Rearm is one of the lowest win rate spells, but in the hands of a high-skilled player, it's one of the most broken. And yeah, I mean, obviously, right at the top of that type of stats, you see like Gyrocopter, but then you see things like Silencer and Spectre, where the body is mediocre and the spells are excellent. So you get the full range of outcomes.
And these lanes are just like slaughter. Like top lane, they're just spamming spells constantly at each other. Lenska has been taking the brunt of it. He's just tanking everything from Ginseng, but he's not able to pull.
Every single person up here has a stick. They learned their lesson from last time.
Ginseng is actually one of those. I wasn't playing yesterday. Someone was standing in for him. But he's also, like, I didn't actually realize this until earlier today, but he's also really, really high up on the leaderboard. Like, 29th position, 1 behind Faustus, who's Mahaximus, a.k.a. Papa Schlumpf. And Rob's 22. So it's like, this Radiant team has got 4 players in the top 30. Absolutely insane and stacked lineup. I think Blop has dropped down quite a lot. He's only 88th.
Can they kill Fish here? Yeah, with the Poison Touch and that Arctic Burn skewer, so AD Dog gets a little bit closer and has a bit more damage. They don't get the finishing touch on him. They don't go for the kill, so Fish now can salve, turn around with a Splinter Blast, slow down the Disruptor, and get the kill for Faustus.
Faustus.
And that's the problem with Disruptor model, right? That's one of the reasons why no jungle didn't mulligan. It was like Disruptor is a model that we don't particularly care about getting one of these S tier spells like Arctic Burn. We'll be able to kill him in lane.
Yeah, Disruptor is one of the bodies that, like, if you try to force non-spellcaster on it, I can't handle it.
That's why he's gone for this hybrid, right? Spellcaster / Arctic Burn right clicker. And Fish
could be. Yeah, he's gonna be in trouble.
He's super dead. He's got Orb of Venom, Poison Touch on him, and there's no escape from it. He doesn't have boots.
The bugs did do a lot of damage, I will say, before eventually they get brought down.
Yeah, but it's like the overall trade in that 1 minute period, right? You kill Disruptor, you got first blood, you lose your Wyvern, you blocked the camp, you tried to, you forced a sentry. He's done his job. Dying there's not a massive deal. And he wants to come back full HP, full mana, bring items for the Omni Knight maybe as well.
Ginseng at the top taking a lot of damage, has to throw out a stun. And this lane is, to me, always feels like Radiants are on the defensive. Every time Block moves forward, he represents a big threat to these low HP heroes.
It's because Block has power. He's just continually shoving the wave. So there's these massive 1.5 or 2x creep waves that Rob wants to farm and has to, and then Lenska's just putting spells on him. Thunderstrike is one of the greatest damage, early magic damage spells in the game, along with like Rocket Barrage on a single target, right?
Lance could be in a little bit of trouble here. He has to tango.
Yeah, that was Spirit Siphon. And not only do you do damage, but you heal yourself and allow Blop to get the curse on the Abaddon. Another hit, but there's a grave.
Oh.
He saves himself. Ginseng might be dying for it though. Now Blob's going to
be a
turn onto
double.
Rob. Another kill coming with a Thunderstrike slowing. Blob gets a double kill.
Oh, it was absolutely huge that Lensk lived there. I thought he popped his wand a little bit early, but he knew that if he got off the Spirit Siphon, he'd be fine. And one has to say, this is the kind of lane where Necrophos doesn't get like that abused and is able to get stuff done. Not like Lensk has been punished in a lot of the earlier games of this series and of this tournament. You know, he's always playing the position 5 or the weakest. Sometimes he plays position 4 but with a weak hero. And fastest dies.
Yeah, it's bot Radiant lane. If they have the chance to go on you, you're going to lose one hero. You know, Poison Touch, Orb of Venom, Arctic Burn. They put everything onto one, then they turn on the other and kill Fish as well. And once they got to this level 6 on Disruptor, things felt much better.
I do find it funny that we have like 2 of the worst heroes in the game battling up against each other. Weaver and Necrophos. I mean, not the worst, but 2 of like the bottom 10. Pretty excellent. And this
Mid lane going pretty much as expected. Piggy with Heartstopper Aura just farming ahead of Tauntaun. Tauntaun can wave clear with Crypt Swarm and farm small camp, so he's not super far behind. He's not too sad about this, but it's just an inevitable threat that Piggy is gonna get this Radiance and just run you down.
Seems like an uphill battle, I think, for. It seems like an uphill battle for him, though. So yeah.
Rob just pausing to savor the moment of his death, I guess.
Yeah, he has pause bound to one of his mouse buttons. Like they were talking about it earlier.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he pauses so often to like go have a cigarette or go get milk for his daughter.
On a mouse button, like you're wasting an item hotkey on pause when. Like, you can put pause anywhere on your keyboard, on a Stream Deck, on an Elgato pedal, whatever the hell you want, but not on your mouse, surely.
Well, everyone, welcome to the Rumble in the Jungle, sponsored by Elgato. Vastus makes a return kill, but they trade off Fish. This bottom lane is turning into a disaster, like more like a bloodbath.
I wonder if he can actually chase this. He's got Arcanes against Treads, track move speed, shield plus purification, but yeah, Arctic Burn gets him to high ground.
I was going to say, it would be the high ground win here for sure. I have the high ground because he's got the shield, right? He can dispel off anything that he throws at him from the Arctic. I was hoping he was just going to skewer him onto the high ground personally. But
Disruptor has skewer as well, so like, even if the Arctic was on cooldown, he could just always skewer away.
I just love Fish comes mid and he's like, I'm going to put spells on this Earth Spirit. And Piggy stands there, farms the wave, doesn't move, kills the swarm. He's like, yeah, okay, nice. Good, sick rotation. Lenska's dying top as well to the crit out of the Janata.
See, that's like the power of the Janata when you combo with a crit like Chaos Strike or Mortal Strike. The damage is just really insane early on. It does fall off a bit though. But you can get such an advantage from the early stages of the game.
Yeah, but it's like, what does he build? Does he want to buy, does he want to buy Echo Saber, go Treads, Echo, right-click kind of thing, move to BKB next? Or does he want to go utility and be the kind of frontline tank of his team and do damage by staying alive? Because he's got Borrowed Time Mistcoil, so Aghanim Scepter should be on the cards eventually.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
3, 5, 6. He's not level Borrowed Time, though. 1 + 3 + 2 equals dead Rob. That's a Rob move, isn't it? Leveling Janata again instead of Borrowed Time.
That's the Rob move and absolutely not a Noxville move.
And Ginseng dewarding, but I don't know. Grave TP could get him out of here. No stuns, right? No stuns. And fastest diving bottom again. Doesn't want to go too deep for the Magnus. And now it's Earth Spirit rotation time. He's level 10, 10 minutes in. Piggy is a monster.
They were trying to kill the the Disruptor, but I don't know if you saw, he TP'd out, so that's when the Omni thought that he could be aggressive and stop pressuring tower, and here comes the Piggy.
Yeah, farm lane, farm stacks. Don't rotate for kills, rotate for gold. Creeps, farm.
100 creeps at 10, like just after 10 minutes. Pretty solid.
I mean, yeah, having 460 GPM at 10 minutes is pretty nuts, honestly. Like, Faustus is 390 with a couple of track kills.
And yeah, I just don't think they can do anything about this Spirit at the moment. They need to just, you know, they can cast spells and harass them, but it's not going to have a big impact at all.
Yeah, Blop has to be the one to kill him, because even with a Winter's Curse, I don't really see him dying unless he's surrounded by 4 of his teammates.
I think it's way more likely that you use Winter's Curse to blow up someone else, like the Weaver, who has utility, or the Disruptor.
I think you're like 90% of the time putting it on a Spirit, because like Piggy's going to roll into you, right? Earth Spirit's going to roll into you, and you're going to be, you know, 2, 3, 4 heroes there, and either you curse him, or he kills 1 or 2 of you.
Okay.
Because they don't really have any other stuns. Like they could glimpse him. They could glimpse him and try and reset. Like Winter's Curse glimpse play. That could be sick.
This RP is doing a lot, but Guardians. Oh, and a huge Static Storm coming out. Blop gets just annihilated there, and Lenska's in a lot of trouble.
Winter's Curse to try and reset, but Arctic Burn, the tail end of it, finishing off Lenska Necro, while Tauntaun, with no ghost, trying to Shikuchi in and out of this fight. Does have the shield from Faustus and a shockwave there to try and slow them down on the way back. Tauntaun just can't go any deeper, really.
And Piggy's not wanting to come and get involved. He's so close to finishing off his Radiance. And I have to say, a little bit of inside info is I know that this sort of Earth Spirit type of build is something that Faustus is a huge fan of. So, as much as it was, you know, we were discussing it in the draft, is there something else he could go for? This is also a block pick on a toolkit that Faustus really likes to have on like Omni Knight, for example.
The roll magnetized for sure. I'm just wondering, do you need a vessel against this Earth Spirit, or are you going to get Shivers or Skadi? Because I feel like you need something to stop the heals. But I don't see who would buy that kind of item. Like Necro could maybe go Spirit Vessel. I think the Wyvern wants to try and go the Wraith Pact, as Fish usually does. Skadi's not really an item the CK will want to buy, but he might feel like he has to this game. Whereas DP and Omni definitely don't.
Magnus is doing some scouting here, standing invisible, right behind the Necrophos.
25 seconds for RP.
Yeah. His RP was what started that wonderful fight in the top lane.
So Blop is down here, and again, I think he's one of the only heroes that can actually face off against Piggy with the rest of his team around him, but he's phantasmed and run back to jungle. So they won't play aggressively into heroes, they'll just try and chip away at the tower. But in the meantime, top's getting pushed by, you know, 2 Radiant heroes, Faust is trying to wave drag, mid's getting shoved by the Disruptor. It feels like the upper hand going to the Radiant, especially if Magnus can find a couple with an RP and they TP reactively. They see him though. Magnus gets scouted out under his invis.
Do you have more true sights?
Well, they also don't want to go like into trees, into fog, into RP. You know, they want to kill a tower and get the hell out of here. They do not want to stick around because now they want to react and TP back to mid to defend that. Because I think top is a lost cause. Yeah, I don't think they should be moving there. They should be like all moving mid for this tier 1 defense right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And yeah, I'm interested to see how...
Thank God. 9 HP Glyph, jeez.
I'm interested to see that this Disruptor is going for kind of like the typical Arctic Burn build. It never seems to work out that I'm going right-click a core on this type of body.
Yeah, it's just you're playing your skills and not the hero, right? It was the same kind of discussion we had about was it the AM last night? He had half Ursa, half AM build, with Fury Swipes, and it's like he's kind of like a PA stuck in between that. I want to play laning phase, but then I've not thought about how this is going to go in the next 5 minutes. I now want to play as jungler. And what if Disruptor didn't go for right click? What would he go for? Play around his Static Storm, but then you're playing around ulti, you're playing around Ag's timing rather than playing around your laning phase and your early abilities, which he's done pretty well so far.
I guess that is what's nice about this way, is that he goes Ag Scepter and he gets the Static Storm muting items, which is huge with RP. You're able to stop the BKBs, which post RP coming out. So it's like a good follow-up chain for the crew.
Right now, all Radiant has to really do is defend towers. Like, come defend top wave, Piggy clears that, have someone sit mid, which is Rob, who can easily just tank spells with borrowed time, so he's not too worried. And you're not showing your weak heroes on the map. Magnus has Invis, Weaver's playing in the fog constantly, Disruptor's farming kind of deeper in that bottom Radiant jungle. So Dire don't have moves to make. They've got one ward bot, one ward top jungle, but they don't see anyone that they can go on.
It's weird you're calling Magnus a weak hero. I mean, I know what you're saying, but it just sounds so weird because Magnus is such a beefy boy.
Yeah, he's a hero that they can kill, right? He can invis, he can RP, but they will kill him.
And like you say, Rob is doing a good job of just acting as this wedge in the mid lane. And no jungle have lost 2.5 towers essentially, and they've taken just 1.
Yeah, and they've also not been farming jungle, right? Like, Blop has been kicked out of top jungle. He's had to shift into mid, then across the triangle, while 2 or 3 Radiant cores are farming out waves and jungle. So this net worth lead, going from dead even up to 2k, I would not be surprised to see it go up to like 3 or 4 in the next couple of minutes, especially if the Radiant hold the defense of this mid tier 1. But a great Winter's Curse, catching out the Magnus, so now no RP coming. They should be able to bring him down with Tauntaun's Crypt Swarm, but Piggy has taken out Maximus. Omni Knight just caught up in the roll, and this Radiant's damage, and he's going for more. Piggy finds a double kill, and this is where the steamroller starts, right? This rolling boulder of Piggy just allows him to get on top of people, do damage with all of his Death Pulse and Radiant's magic over time. Lenska gives him the triple, and it is danger zone for no jungle. They're losing everybody one after the other to this Piggy Earth Spirit. He's unstoppable. He has his streak stolen. He doesn't get the Ultra, but Disruptor will be dominating.
I think this just went from a mild 20k per hour to 100 in a few seconds there. And like you said, the net worth starts climbing up. And I really just... It looks very difficult for Maslyata to do anything but carry on trying to push down these... take these objectives. I think bottom is the next one. And then invade the triangle. That's going to really shut down the farming capability.
No jungle. They just need to get pickoffs. Like, anyone they can find and kill right now just alleviates that little bit of pressure that would allow them to have some map space. Jin's saying, a decent kill. Tries the TP, but he's already been glimpsed back. But look who's coming in. Piggy's here. Magnetized onto Lenska. Guardian Angel and the Cold Embrace in onto him. Yule's on the creep. But this roll and magic damage from Piggy should finish him off. And Faustus has put himself in harm's way as well. Tagged by the Arctic Burn again and again. And a hold back from Fish. The Winter's Curse on the Magnus once more. Gives him the double kill. But it doesn't stop Piggy. Piggy. Just oinking and rolling and swarming towards them. Another triple kill for him. No jungle in severe danger now.
Yeah, it was a 3 for 2. I will say the one thing that is a huge advantage for the Dire side is the fact that they have track. Providing them vision. And importantly, giving them like some way into these team fights. Even if they're losing the team fights, let's say 3-2 or 4-2, they are still getting some extra value out of the kills that they're making.
I just don't think they're putting themselves in a place to win. Like, I'm struggling to see how, A, how do they kill this Earth Spirit? And B, if they decide to ignore him and kill other people, they are facing into, RP, Reaper Scythe, borrowed time. They're never getting a jump onto Disruptor. They don't have mobility outside of a Blink Dagger on CK, really.
He's
to
got
get on top of the target.
You say that, and that is exactly. I don't know if you saw that he has it, but I don't know whether you're saying he needs it or whether that's the only way they got in. But yeah,
that's the only way that they have to jump back lines right now. Like, you can shoot Coochie in with DP and blink with CK, but first you have to see who you're blinking on, right? Like, Track might be able to do that, but it's primarily going to come down to, you know, warding deep, and you can't ward deep against this Radiant team unless you win a team fight. And winning the team fight, you need, you know, it's this impossible scenario for them.
Yeah.
Where warding is impossible because they can't win a team fight because Piggy is too damn strong.
I mean, the other way to maybe try to hold these fights is wait until the Radiant get a bit strong and then start using the Winter's Curse on Piggy, so all the damage comes in on him. But for now, I just don't think it's going to do enough.
Like, will he die in a Winter's Curse? Probably if they do it from like 70, not 100%, but like 70% HP. But look at him. He's
Not right
almost
now.
just solo killing the Omni Knight.
Not right now, but later on, I think he will be. His team will get strong enough that they will like do enough damage to kill him.
Maybe, yeah. I wonder if he itemizes for that. Like, he's going Shard next, but like if he goes Shivers after that, just to stop physical damage coming his way.
This is a game where I think Spirit Vessel and Mobility are key. So I want to see Glimmer Capes, 4 Staves, and maybe that Spirit Vessel coming out on the Dire side. But in some sense also they have the Heavenly Grace to dispel that. So I say that, but maybe it's better to just go full defensive.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just Earth Spirit model with this skill and item build, but it's Heavenly Grace with the extra strength and regen and all that stuff it gives to this Earth Spirit just to go deeper.
Oh, here's a glimpse. They caught Ginseng.
The one hero they can, the one weak hero, the one hero they can kill. And even that's going to take a while. They even curse the Abaddon. Ginseng gets some spells off before dying. But this could be a couple of good kills into Roche. Rob still has borrowed time, and he's trying to get it off now. Static Storm's going to miss with the kinetic field, so no jungle back out. Lenska throws the Guardian Angel onto the 3 of them as they turn back onto Rob and glimpse him into Faustus. Purification and the Shikuchi there, but Piggy, he's come in, and it's time for him to just go wild. Straight towards Tauntaun, death pulsing away. How much more has he got? He's just going to go more and more. He's just going to roll in deeper. He can't find anyone. He's run out. No, he's run out of gas now. He's stopped.
I mean, that was probably the best type of fight that it could be, right? They kill 2 and they lose Blop. Okay, take them.
Where was Blop?
Takes his backseas. I don't know where he was.
Blop was in enemy small camp. What?
Yeah. Before Blop decided to feed, I was going to say that was pretty good. But then Blop fed, so interesting.
Piggy. Oh dear. Poor Faustus. I wouldn't be surprised if they just type GG like right now. We can't handle this Piggy Earth Spirit. It's over.
I mean, also remember that this is a best of 5 series, so 2 things to consider. First of all, no jungler played 2 games, kind of moderately long, not super long, but long enough. And this could be another 5 games in this series. So if they think the game's over, it might actually be worth their long-term interest to just say, okay, we're beaten here. Let's move on. Let's save our strength for the rest of the series, because they do have disadvantages. They are on the dire side here. Huge disadvantage. They did try hold on to their mulligans, and I mean maybe it's a bit of copium to say that, but maybe it's best for their team morale if they just move on to the next game.
I think they need Roshan. They definitely need to stop the Radiant from having it, because if Radiant get this Aegis, they're losing high ground, guaranteed. So if Dire can get Aegis onto Blop, that gives them a couple of chances to use this Blink to get on top of Disruptor and try and find kills in the back lines. It's just like, you need to force Radiant to already be there. Like, you want Radiant to go in and start Roche, and then you want to come smoked up to find them. And that's why they're scanning now, right? They know that Roche is a possibility and they want to fight around it, so they scan it. They see they're kind of around there. But Piggy, he's hunting. He just wants kills. He sees Faustus. Another roll misses, but he's got Magnus here to just help set up. Get a couple of stuns on him. Force the BKB as well. That's going to give some safety to Faustus as Blop used Phantasm and TP'd back to the mid lane to go triangle. So some good time wastage from the Dire.
And Tauntaun's pushing the bot lane, trying to get the pressure going here. They're just trying to fight on every front, you know, keep them split up. Because I don't know if you saw how long it took Piggy to get that fight by Roche, but that was the time when Dire looked good. Was when Piggy wasn't there, obviously. And trying to move around him, it seems like a good idea. They have tools, like they have Glimpse, they have Yules, they have BKBs and tracks. They have some tools to work around him. But when he's there, he does seem so scary. Tauntaun's moved to the mid lane. Oh, they get a courier.
Makes the ultimate sacrifice.
Those clarities are going amiss. And top lane.
He doesn't have
You wanna
BKB yet. But Piggy doesn't really want to 1v5 right now.
He does have some friends in the area.
How did
They pop
this
it.
is the thing, you can't just let him roll away. And Tauntaun's
Cool.
used his Exo for this.
Yeah, they used Exo.
Oh, the blade mail's scary. Oh, Tauntaun, careful, buddy. Another roll from Piggy, still half HP. He is tracked, so they keep the vision on him. And now the Dire moving into position. Piggy, his first death of the game incoming, potentially. Static Storm's there, but Faustus has the BKB up, and they get the Earth Spirit. Lenska survives that Reaper Scythe with a sliver of HP, and now he's healed up by the Cold Embrace. The Dire holding on. Piggy buys back, and he wants to go in again, rolling towards Faustus. He'll get that kill first. Now they need to get more. The Stragglers are still out there. Lenska going to die to the Arctic Burn. 80 Dog finds it, and Piggy's going to have to give up on the chase, but now you lose a couple of heroes. Blop didn't join in. He was back in the triangle and then pushing out mid lane. So you're going to lose tier 2, it looks like, and probably Roshan.
But I mean, that was a Piggy buyback, right? So this does present a big opportunity, I think. If they're able to regroup and fight before the Radiant take the rush, this could be a big swing here. Meanwhile, Blop and Tauntaun, they see where the Piggy is and they go to the other side of the map.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not Roshing, honestly. Like, Exo down is such a big signal to go Rosh. Like, they are doing it now. It took them a little while. So I guess focusing on pushing out the lanes just that one way further first. So the Dire have to come back and maintain this creep equilibrium before contesting Rosh. And they have that Observer Ward near the large camp mid lane tier 2 area.
So what is going to be kind of interesting here is that after the Aegis expires on Piggy, there's going to be about 90 seconds where he still doesn't have buyback from his current buyback, and he won't have Aegis after it expires. So
okay, I'm going to tell you why that doesn't matter. Click on Rob.
What's Rob got?
Wraith Pact, Aghanim Scepter with Borrowed Time, Mist Coil. Piggy goes in, Rob goes in. Piggy never dies. So if we thought Piggy was hard to kill before, he is now impossible to kill. And he's got fish in his sights. You've Cold Embraced, you've put your spells out, but you will eventually die.
Yeah, he is doing a good job juking here, but it is hashtag inevitable.
They've got Cloak of Flames now on Radiant as well for Piggy. Pretty sure I just saw Disruptor. Yeah, it's in Radiant stash. Blast Rig for the Dire.
Piggy's TPing bottom. They're about to kill Rob.
That's a big pick, but how many does Piggy get in the trade-off? Tauntaun's popped his Ghost. Blop fighting into Piggy. But this is Aegis Shiver's Blade Mail on the Earth Spirit, and he nearly kills him even through the BKB. Tauntaun with the Shikuchi does get that distance he needed. Piggy's chasing, though. Oh my god, if he connects this next roll, he guesses wrong. Tauntaun's juked him.
Yeah, also I want to say that Piggy's just finished up a casual Sheetus, you know? As one does.
Yeah, I said that earlier, he needed it.
Yeah,
Like, the only way to kill him is the Winter's Curse.
Is Rob's holding onto the Cloak of Flames now. Think about that. I mean, maybe the idea is just like to separate the damage output. So Nether Shawl means you have extra magic res and you do extra spell damage. So you don't need to do extra cloak.
I just don't think the spell resistance matters that much. Like, I think the -2 armor is kind of bad for Piggy.
Oh, they glimpse him back in. They want to fight under the tower.
It's like the way he's dying is right clicks from Blop. Look, he's silenced. He's getting right clicks. Magic damage isn't that great. It's just punching out from Rob, and the Guardian Angel is required here from the Dire team, but they do get the Aegis. That Reaper Scythe, though, into the Static Storm Rob CK means he's dead with buyback available. Probably going to have to use it here to defend their base because they've got an RP in onto the DP. Good heals. Oh, Tauntaun back to half health. Has BKB Yule Scepter to use as well to get him out of this one. I don't know. Piggy's still here and rolling towards them, finishing off yet another Dire core. And Blop bought back along with his Necro. But now they're in a 2v4, 3v4. Omni Knight, half HP, needs the fountain regen up. And this Lena Barracks is dropping quickly.
Yeah, Blop held his buyback for so long. Oh, he's in
Goodness
the
gracious
base.
me. He still kills him deep in the fountain. Blop had to BKB as well. It's worn off now. Stunned and tagged by the Arctic Burn. They're giving them the tips, and Blop's just going to die back. Piggy gets a triple kill.
I think they'll call it here, maybe. Maybe one more fight left in them, because in 5 seconds they have the Winter Wyvern coming up. But yeah, Blop held his buyback for such a long time, and then when Tonton was going down, he used it, so that was the signal. That was the go signal. And this is really good restraint here from the Radiant team. Not wanting to push it too far. They know they've got to die back on Blop.
Piggy's like, I've got 2-3 waves to farm bot, guys. Chill a bit. Let me get my GPM all the way up, nearly at 900 now. Just systematic from them. Go mid, go bot, push by push, and catch by catch. They'll jump in onto that Winter Wyvern. And Fish without buyback, dead for 50 seconds. Oh, he will have buyback now. Just comes up. Had like 3 gold to wait for.
So this is the last. Is this the last fight, or do they let this drop and go for one last hold?
Looks like there's no blob, but Fish has just died, so that's probably game with no Winter's Curse. You kind of have to just let it fall and wait for Blop and defend tier 4s, defend top lane. Fish there buying back and TPing aggressively. A little bit sloppy. And Piggy's found Lenska, just focusing the 2 supports. Forced the Guardian Angel pretty early on. Tonton can't do any damage with his ghosts. And Piggy, Earth Spirit, going deep again for a 2-man RP. Sucks them in. Get the team fight combo. And give Piggy this continuation of a beyond godlike streak. 19-1-6.
People saying GG. Len saying go next. 1-0 to Maslyata. Taking the Radiant. All important Radiant win. This is like, if this was tennis, we haven't seen many breakpoints today. I guess that's the way of talking about it. You have to win your Radiant games, and Maslyata do so in a commanding way.
How much damage did Piggy do that game?
Oh, you're too much. Yeah, literal.
Where's my big number? 60,000.
Okay.
The closest was Disruptor at 28,000, right? Yeah. 26.5 by Tonton. How much did Blop do? 15.
Ginseng and Head. The thing is, I want to say that the Hedgehog scouting on the Magnus was really, really good. Did a huge amount of, like, he knew where everyone was for such a long period of time. So the 2 supports didn't look like they did very much, but they actually did an absolutely huge amount of work. But yeah, this is just game number 1. And I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see Piggy being a absolute raid boss like this in an upcoming match. But it is 1-0, and Maslyata can take a little bit of a break now. What do we think? 2-minute, 3-minute break between games? Is that what?
I think that's what they're saying. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back when they have the lobby up and running.